We're back, viewers!
Moosen Spiel. Are you sure we're recording audio?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
yay.
Yeah, check this shit out. Bang.
Moosen Spiel.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Totally recording. Look at those lines going up and down as we go up the elevator.
Those are, yeah. Yay.
Yeah, so I totally already played half of this game, and now we're drinking and talking absolute nonsense, and Metroid Prime is becoming the bitch cast.
Yeah, Metroid Prime is a game where we don't actually play it. We just watch you playing it earlier through recordings and complain about
women, politics,
James Cameron,
Scarlett Johansson. God, I hate her.
Yeah, people who are early, like my old roommate and
so watch what I do here.
Watch
what I do here. Oops.
Good job. Man, you are just great at the 3D.
I am awesome at this game.
Oh,
But
there you go.
I found a missile expansion.
There you go. Good move. Good move. So what I promised in the last episode is that we were going to go over this article that I read earlier today.
Please.
It's just one of those really juicy stories where a social justice warrior does something absolutely fucking ridiculous and has no idea just how fucking stupid she is.
It's becoming the problem of our time. That's what you said before we started the video.
Exactly.
It's things like this in particular.
And I think that one time I talked about that case in Toronto where it was like this Twitter feud and these social justice warriors wanted to like sue this guy over
you did that over
mentioning him over Twitter. Oh god, it was fucking disgusting. But yeah. Okay, so this is the story. There's a student who's facing a $200,000 he's being sued. And if it goes to court, he'll end up paying roughly hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees, is what it is. It's not, like, the actual penalty doesn't really, that's not the real reason of the story, but this is, what the point is that this is actually there's a chance that this could go to court because he's actually getting sued over this. But what he did is he wrote a Facebook post where he said, just got kicked out of the unsigned Indigenous computer room, QUT is stopping segregation with segregation. What the story is, he's at the university, he's going to the computer room, he gets kicked out because he's not Aboriginal, and it's the Aboriginal time to use the computer room. This is basically what it is. It's like the white, unless you're Aboriginal, you're not supposed to be in the computer room.
It's like a Native American designated
Native Australian, because this is Australia.
Well, yeah, but talking for like the States or even Canada, it's like an Eskimo tribe.
You mean an Inuit?
Or an Inuit. An Inuit tribe. Dude, I've been drinking. Leave me alone. An Inuit tribe being designated this area for an hour, and then someone else goes in, and no, you can't be out.
Right.
And just a simple comment is made.
Well, yeah, no, yeah. I mean, okay, so like, but he's saying, okay, so I'm segregation. It's like, okay, so you're a little pissy about it. Maybe there's a good reason why it's that way, but we don't really know because we don't really know what the reasoning is behind having it segregated in that way. So like, but he writes a Facebook post, big deal, right? But no, this fucking person is actually suing him over the Facebook post that he wrote,
which is dumb to begin with because it's like a Twitter post.
So along with two other students who wrote actually similar things, as well as the university and two staff, and the woman who's doing it is Cindy Pryor. She went on sick leave following the incident because she reports she felt unsafe leaving her home because she was afraid somebody would say something offensive to her. This is directly from the article. I don't know how accurate the article is, but if that is accurate at all, this woman needs to be just fucking fired and left to fucking, left on her own devices, right? Left to her own devices.
Yeah, I mean, when you, she's a teacher, right?
She's going on sick leave because she's afraid somebody's gonna say something offensive to her. Like, fuck, I teach kids who, like, threaten to, like physically harm me, right? I'm not going on fucking sick leave for that. And she's afraid that somebody's gonna say something mean to her. And so she's, like, taking fucking sick leave.
I just spoke in the last video. I go to Hunter's Landing every week, and I get quote unquote offended every time.
Yeah. Well, this is another thing. She also says she was unable to return to work in a role that required her to have face-to-face contact with white people, and she's calling them racists.
Is she she must be an Aborigine, right?
I would assume she is. Yeah.
I have to assume. Well,
I would assume she's not white. I'll put it that way.
Well, that would make it super ironic and funny.
Yeah, I mean, like, although to be honest, that doesn't really. I wouldn't really put it past people.
So
like that.
this article is as it's if not better. So here's a rant, by the way, I was talking about.
Well,
so the map earlier pointed us to right here.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, you need to use your boost ball to get up in that crevice. So I'm like, oh, okay, I got it.
Oh, so now you have to use the ramp to do it.
So now I'm trying to do that. So that article right there is exactly why Donald Trump
is getting
votes.
Yeah, exactly. It's not because he's a smart guy or because anybody thinks he'll be good for the country. It's that people are fucking sick of the bullshit. Like bullshit like that. People are fucking sick of it.
I mean, that's right up there with the person who used a toilet brush as a toothbrush and then sued the company that made the toilet brush because it didn't have a caution on it.
Well, I mean, that's just a whole different other issue, actually. But
it's right up there with stupidity.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's like a whole different type. This is organized stupidity. This is like orchestrated. This is an echo chamber of stupidity where people are like encouraging each other to be stupid in this particular way. Right? Like people are like aiding and abetting the kind of like.
What's the sue now? It's the sue now culture.
Well. It's more than that.
You don't think
so? It's a lot more than it's not. It's not. It's got nothing to do with the lawsuit. The lawsuit is like one issue of it. That just shows how far she's willing to take it. The real issue is that she thinks it's actually totally fucking okay to say that she wants a job where she doesn't have to interact with white people. That's the fucking issue.
Well, that makes
That's
her.
The issue.
Yeah, that makes her racist.
Exactly, and then she doesn't realize that. She doesn't actually recognize. She thinks that they're racist, meanwhile she's the complete fucking racist.
Yeah.
That's the issue right here, is that people would think that tolerance means that you're allowed to be intolerant of everybody else. That's the weird kind of paradox that we're having to deal with.
Yeah. It's the world's getting weird.
Yeah.
And I just, I mean, how about this for a fact? This isn't on topic, but it kind of goes with what we're saying, is the Syrian refugees are a huge issue right now. Well, guess what country is the most welcoming to Syrians?
Germany.
Germany!
Yep. Yeah, so what?
So, out of all the countries in Europe, is Germany the first country you would think would be the most tolerant? Or the most welcoming? No. You would think a country like Britain or France, maybe. But if anyone actually pays attention to the news, France is incredibly...
I wouldn't think France.
Holy crap. Well, not a lot of people... A lot of people, especially... a lot of people don't know much about France and its actual culture, how...
No, they don't like immigrants in France.
They hate immigrants.
They don't even like tourists. I mean, come on, they don't like immigrants. Definitely they don't like immigrants.
Yeah. So, the fact that people actually do think that is it ignorance? I feel like it's ignorance.
That they think that Germany is
the least welcoming and France would be the most welcoming.
I guess that's the type of ignorance, yeah.
Yeah, that's not actually knowing what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just
assuming. So do you ever get to the top of this ramp thing? Because I'm watching this. It just looks like you're getting anywhere.
It's. I was really annoyed doing this.
Like, don't you have to go further up the ramp? Like,
I'm fucking trying.
I don't mean like further height-wise, but like a little bit further down a bit. Yeah, there you go. Like somewhere there in the middle.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay,
but
I would think something like Sweden. I would think a place like Sweden would be the most welcoming.
They have their own issue with.
I would think that Iceland would be welcoming.
No, I'm thinking of Norway. Norway has a lot of political issues with people from. Ooh, what country was that again?
Sweden.
No. Yeah, so I pretty much gave up.
So you never got to the top.
So I'm like, am I in the right place? Sure says I am. See the big question mark?
Yep.
Oh, it's an Arabic country of some kind. One in particular. I want to say it's Pakistan.
Okay.
A lot of people from Pakistan go to Norway and
it's not Arabic. Pakistan's not Arabic.
No, it's not. You're right. I was thinking Middle East, and then I remembered it was Pakistan. Yeah. So
okay.
So Norway's got. I mean, every country's got its own little immigration, political issues. You know,
right.
Germany's got Turkey. France has got everybody.
Yeah.
Particularly anyone Arabic or Muslim. Right now, anyways.
Right.
Norway's got people from Pakistan. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's Pakistan.
Yeah.
And America's got apparently everybody now. It used to be just Mexicans.
Right. And Canada's back to having everybody after Harper tried to kick everybody out or stop them from coming in.
That's nuts.
And now we have Justin Trudeau, who's like, he wants everybody in, which is, I'm cool with that.
Well, the thing, Harper actually passed a law right before he got out, making it harder for Americans to either immigrate or get work visas in Canada.
Harper passed a law making it, sorry.
So,
that's right.
A month after I came to Canada,
they made it more difficult.
He passed a law, or he, put a law out there, and it did pass, to make it harder for Americans to move to Canada and get work.
Yeah, that's what he was like. He was the guy who just like, more for us, less for you. Fuck you. That's what he was.
I mean, it was a pain where my boss in Houston had to go to...
Hey, look, it's our ship.
Yep. We're back here. So my boss in Houston had to actually go to New York and present the evidence that this position in Canada hasn't been filled in 2 years, and there's been no one in Canada available to...
Which is all just bullshit
take
anyways.
The role.
Of course there are people in Canada willing to take the role, but like...
Well, nobody...
But if they want to hire you, they're going to find a way to hire you regardless of what the government says.
They're going to do that, but they had interviewed over 20 people over the last 2 years for the position, and they just weren't good.
Well...
So it came to the fact that they wanted to train me almost from scratch rather than hire one of these other guys. And it was a big HR thing because human resources are the ones that pretty much handle the process of picking people for interviews.
Right.
And they were just doing such a horrible job. Finally, upper management had enough of dealing with them and said, "We're going to handle this on our own now."
Yeah.
And that's how I came here. Because if it was up to HR, I would not have this job.
Yeah, they would just be fucking HR loons. I've never had any, like, I haven't met too many HR people that I've actually thought were good at their jobs. I'll put it that way.
HR drives me insane.
I think most HR people are just fucking wastes.
Yeah. I mean, I told you about one of my friends at the last company I worked with. She was laid off, and the HR lady who was in charge of giving her all the severance paperwork and all that.
Yeah.
Apparently, for the next 60 days after her quote unquote being laid off.
Yeah.
She was given the option to use the company's.
Why didn't you get the talisman back then?
No, it's just a read this thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was given 60 days to use the company's resource
to find a new job.
To find a new job, and the person in charge of telling her that didn't do it.
Well, because
that's kind of a big deal. If you're losing your job...
Kind of, but at the same time, it's like, are you really going to use the company's resource that just fired you to find a job? Like, come on.
I would have fucking used it.
You might use
people,
it, but
especially...
it's just it's a facade. It's not a real service.
Well, from the industry that we came from, it would have been a great help. Because you don't know whether it leads to something or not. It is something to help you.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, and that's a major flaw in what HR does is if I'm getting fired or laid off and this is an option, I better be fucking told of it.
Yeah, it's their job to tell you, but at the same time, like, if you're actually putting any sincerity or any credence behind something like that, then you just, like, that's not where you find a job. You don't find a job through the people who just fired you.
Well, laid off
because
of the industry.
Because of industry, yeah. It's just a PR thing, you know. That's the only reason they make those services is just for PR, to make it sound like they care about the people they fire.
Well, clearly, the person's either bad at her job, or didn't give a shit, or was told specifically not to offer it.
I'm thinking didn't give a shit is probably the number one reason.
Probably.
Chobo artifact acquired.
So, I mean, that whole process, she told me the story of that whole process, and it was, I mean, this HR lady was bitch number one.
Right. No, I've never found too many HR people. I think a lot of HR gets really bureaucratic. It's a lot of trying to turn people into numbers and not, like, looking at the situation as it is, as opposed, they look at situations as they appear on paper, right?
Oh my god, the oil field is hurting right now. If you went on medical leave and then come off, they just look at that time you weren't working.
Yep.
And then as soon as you're off, you're like, oh, well, you weren't working this hard. You're getting laid off first.
Yep. Well, yeah, exactly, right?
Which you would think would be illegal, right?
You would think that would be illegal, but if it's not illegal, it does make the most sense for them too, right?
Yeah, because then you're prone to get hurt again, I guess.
Exactly, right?
Or at least you're fucking stupid.
You're the least reliable out of the people. If they've got the choice. But, I mean, who would you choose? If you could save one of two people, one of them's actually been working the whole time, the other one just got off sick leave, like, who are you firing? Who are you keeping? Who are you firing?
Depends if that other person's good at their job or not.
Well, yeah, but, like, let's say that...
Trust me. Last company I worked for, there were many people who kept their jobs that did not deserve it.
But that doesn't... You can't say that on paper, right? Like, you can't actually put on paper...
Well, that's why they shouldn't be... That's why they should not be involved in that process.
Exactly. That's why HR is bullshit.
Process. Yeah.
Like, that's why HR is bullshit, right?
Because
they have absolutely no way to tell if somebody's competent or not. Because they don't even know what the job is. Because all they know how to do is fucking sign papers and shit.
I'm not shitting you on this. I went to an interview.
What was that? Oh.
I went to an interview for a company. I got my degree in geological engineering. And this was a position I was more than qualified for. Right?
Yeah.
Went to the interview. I got past the first round of interviews. And then I got to the second, and I was interviewing with an HR lady. And she looks at my resume, and she goes, oh, I see you have a lot of experience, and you've done this, but we're looking for a petroleum engineer. And I look at her, I go, well, I have a geological engineering degree.
And she's just so fucking dense and out of it and has absolutely no idea of the fucking industry that she works in that she couldn't tell that was, like, basically the same fucking thing.
It's better.
It's better. Yeah. Exactly. But because she's so fucking out of it, she doesn't know how to do anything other than, like, use a fucking word processor.
So, I go, look, it's a petroleum engineering degree, hazards degree, and environmental degree, essentially all in one with geology as a specialty.
Yeah.
Like, I took petroleum classes. It's in the resume.
Yeah. Yep.
And I've been in the petroleum industry. Like, you even said I'm qualified, but my degree doesn't match exactly word for word. Are you kidding me?
And so the really frustrating
she goes, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to talk to I'm gonna have to talk to the managers. But yeah, we're only hiring petroleum engineers. This is what we want right now. And I walked out. I was like, I can't even talk to you.
Yeah.
You're just not even. You literally did not even hear what I just said.
Yeah, exactly. She's fucking dense as a fucking brick. But, this is the really frustrating part is that these people are the gatekeepers. These are the ones who choose who's successful in life and who isn't, right?
Yeah.
These are the people who decide who actually gets to have a good life and who doesn't. And they don't even know shit about what they're doing. Because what the fuck do they know other than how to hire people? They don't know anything about the industry. They don't know anything about what the job is like. They've never worked the job. They don't even know what the job entails.
Well, clearly she didn't know what the job entailed because I was qualified for it, and yet all she saw was, oh, it doesn't match what this says on paper.
Exactly, right? They just know how to read a fucking document and hold a conversation. Which is, sorry, that's not good enough. Like,
well, I mean, that's why I really laughed at that Twitter post I saw earlier.
Yeah.
Sarah Palin is the reason why I keep applying for jobs I'm not qualified for.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. And
I might as well just do that.
And that's the really frustrating part about it is that so many people get hired for jobs that they're not qualified for anyways because they knew somebody.
Well, that's the real world, is it not?
Well, that's just what it turns into, right?
Yeah.
So that's the fucking horse shit of our current job market. This is why I hate centralized powers. This is why I hate large corporations because you get people like HR people, right? Who have no fucking idea what
it's
the system's just way too big for them to fucking comprehend. They don't have any actual real experience with it. They just know how to fucking read a spreadsheet, answer a couple of emails, and hold a conversation. They've never actually done anything with the job itself. But they get away with it because you can have like centralized power that way.
So, I like that conversation.
So that was us bitching.
That was Bitchcast number 9, yeah.
Bitchcast number 9.
Peace out.
I don't know what we're going to complain about next time.
Oh, man.